Alright, welcome to Demon Bluff. Doing standard over here. There's one evil Mongol characters, find and kill it. This is our current deck, 4 good guys and a bad guy. Let's go in, unveil the first one. Confessor, I am dizzy. The Confessor, their ability is they will say if I am dizzy if they're evil or corrupted. Otherwise, they'll say I am good. So, since they're saying I am dizzy, that means they're the bad guy. So this is an easy first level. One evil adjacent next to me, lover says it, it's you. Because you've already revealed yourself. You're a self-reveal, easy first level. Number 2 is good, we know this. Confessor, yep, and see, because their ability, the minion, their ability is to lie and disguise. They are pretending to be the Confessor. So when you see 2 of the same one, be suspicious. You've already self-revealed, close evil is clockwise, pointing to you, we know it's you, we slay you. The first level is easy, but there are more levels. You need to keep going. New characters unlocked. Medium, learn a good character and its role. Judge, pick one character, learn if they're lying. But now we have more cards. We need to get through 7 villages to win, to get to the next Ascension, to make it even harder. Also, you want to check your deck often, because it can change what's in here between each time. Number 1 is a real medium. So you are vouching for yourself for being good. So either you are a good medium, revealing yourself, not that useful information, or you're bad, saying you're good, so doesn't really reveal anything. You are good. So we know you are good because you can't lie, even if you're evil or corrupted. So we put a marker on you as being good. You are good. Now you are saying number 6 is good. You are vouching for number 6. You are saying there are no evils adjacent to. You are vouching for number 3 and number 5. The judge is somebody I can use to deduce information, maybe check to see if you're telling the truth or not. And number 6, we have aha! The game is afoot. We have 2 of the same, which means one of you is not real. You are saying number 6 is good. You're saying number 2 is a real confessor. We know number 2 is a real confessor, which means you are good, which means you are good. And I could use you to deduce that you are most likely lying. Yes. So you are the bad one. Get out of here. Barely a scratch. 'Tis but a scratch. And a flesh wound. Wretch. And Empress. I register as a random evil minion to other characters. Empress, learn 3 characters, only 1 is evil. Okay. Also, if you check in here, I played for 2 hours already, and then I reset the progress to go through the tutorial again, because it's kind of complicated. Because the first recording was a bit rough. The game gets real hard real fast. Alright, so the thing about you is very important to know is that if you're telling the truth, you pick 3, you learn 3 characters, you say that one of them is evil, don't narrow down which one. But if you're lying, then you only pick 3 good characters. So for the 3 you point out will either be 1 evil among them or no evil among them, which is useful for narrowing things down. Number 1, Empress. 6, 7 are evil. So of 6, 7, or 3, you're saying that either, so these ones over here, 6, 7, or 3, there is also, you can draw in this game, which is kind of neat, and I don't know, neat. So you're saying 6, 7, or 3, one of them is evil, or none of them is evil, depending if you're telling the truth or not. Check number 2, Judge. Number 3, Confessor. I am good, and if the Confessor says I am good, they are good. Because even when they're corrupted, they can't lie properly. So you, boink, are good. Over here, Gemcrafter, is you're vouching for number 6. Okay? Number 5 is the Wretch. You're evil, and you register as evil to others. So you're saying 1 is evil, 6, 7, or 3. Not looking at him. So far, no relevance here. I am 1 card away from closest evil. You are telling the truth, because there is an evil right next to you, so that is the truth. And you, Enlightened, closest evil is clockwise. So if you're telling me the truth, you're pointing that it's would be here, or here, or here, and not here, if you're telling the truth. Now you could be the evil one, which it's looking like you are. Let's go ahead and test. Are you telling the truth? Number 1 is lying. Or 1 is lying. There's only 1 evil right now. Maybe there can be more than 1. Right now it's only 1, which means you're telling the truth, which means you're the bad one. Okay, so let's get you out of here. Boom. Job done. Another village is safe. A twin minion, so that's another one. Jester, pick 3 characters, learn how many of them are evil, so you can choose which ones. Lover, 1 evil adjacent to me, or you're lying. Number 2. The game is a lot more complicated, by the way. Pick 1 character, learn, although I like it, the simple. Pick 1 character, learn if they're lying, useful, although if you're the bad guy and the other one's also the bad guy, then it becomes useless information. Number 7 is good. We shall see. Hunter, I am 1 card away from closest evil. So if you're telling the truth, there's a bad guy over here. Possibly 2. Over here, a wretch. Okay, so you are telling the truth. You are 1 card away from the closest evil because you register as evil to other characters, even though you're actually good. Because you just kind of look bad. So you're telling the truth. You are a truth teller. The bad guys, the ones with the red backs, minions, and later demons, they always lie. Alright, so you're telling the truth. Check over here. Ah! Wait, no. I thought it was an aha moment. Oh, it is an aha moment. I thought you were matched with you. It's actually you matched with you. I knew I saw you before. Okay, so one of you two is one of the minions. Either the regular minion or the twin minion. So, sus. Over here, a confessor. I am good. You say I am good? You are good. Which means, who said 7 is, you're saying number 7 is good? You're telling the truth. Number 7 is good, which means you're good, which means you're bad. Get out of here, minion. Check over here. Aha, 2 lovers. You're saying 2 evils are adjacent to you. That's not possible because you're good, which means you are bad, and you need to go away. Job done. Another village is safe. We continue. Bombardier. Lose if you execute me. They're an outcast. Knight, I can't die unless they are corrupted, in which case they can die. So which means that they're not a very useful one on the board, honestly. Corruption comes in a bit later, though. I'll explain that a bit once it comes up. 1 is evil. 3, 4, 5. So you are saying 3, 4, 5. So there is either 1 evil in there, if you're telling the truth, or none, if you are lying. Now check number 2. Also, keep an eye on this over here. We have minion, twin minion, Bombardier, and these 5 villagers. Number of villagers, the villager ones are offered varies as you get farther in. Number 7 is a real hunter. You are vouching for number 7. Or you're lying. Closest evil is clockwise, which could be true. It could be one of these 2, or you could be lying. If you're lying, there would be no evil there, which means the closest evil will be... See, this is where like the logic and deduction comes in. We could probably figure something out right here. Maybe. Depends if I'm smart enough, or if it's even possible. So, you are saying there is either 1 evil in here, or there are none. You are saying the closest evil is clockwise. Here's the problem. As I realize, you yourself could be the evil, which helps me, means I can't deduce anything. Never mind. Moving on. 1 evil adjacent to you. Okay. That kind of goes to my theory that you could be the evil one. Check over here. You are good. You're an outcast. Only the wretch. The wretch is a good outcast that appears as bad. All the other outcasts are, good, just have weird abilities. Don't execute them. Okay, so I'm thinking you might be evil. Keep looking. Number 5 is a real bombardier. Means, that's right, I haven't seen it yet, but these guys apparently can disguise as the outcasts. Okay. Check number 7. I am 1 card away from closest evil. Always 1 card away. Always, but so far. Aha! 2. Okay, so one of you guys is bad. Alright. So, that narrows where one of the twin minions is at. One of the minions. Where's the other one? So, one of you guys is a minion. I'm starting to think it might be you. And maybe you as well? If you're the good one, 1 card away from closest evil, you're being a bad one. You're lying about them being a bombardier. You're not a bombardier, and that's why the closest evil is clockwise over here. And 1 evil is adjacent to you. And you're saying number 7 is a real hunter, which I'm inclined to believe. 1 is evil, 3, 4, and 5. I think we've deduced it. You and you. There we go. Another village is safe. Witch. You cannot reveal the last card. Lined and disguise. So basically twin minion with an extra ability. One of the minions with an extra ability, basically. Scout. Learn how far a specific evil is to another closest evil. Okay. So what do we have in here? We drew the witch and one of the minions and the wretch. Okay, so good to know. These are the possible villagers we can draw from. What do we have? We have Gemcrafter. Number 2 is good. So you say. Unless you're lying. Confessor, I am dizzy. You are not the confessor. You are lying to me. You are bad. So we can immediately... This is a freebie, because like it self-reveals without any other information needed. That's so free. It's so nice. You're saying number 2 is good. They were not. Which means you are also the bad. Let's just go ahead and just show these, because it's just... Might as well. Can't click that because that's the witch. It's, the first two cards reveal itself, the easiest ones yet, but yeah, you've kind of self-revealed there with that one. That's the easiest one I've had in the like 2 hours I tried playing the game. New bad guy unlocked. Ba. One fake outcast is added to the deck view. I lie in disguise. Alright. What do we have this time? We have Ba and Twin Minions. There's no witch, so I can reveal all the cards, which is nice. You added a fake outcast to the deck, so one of these guys will not actually appear on the board. It's just kind of here to like trick me as I check the deck view. So we'll see which one's actually there. Not sure, like his ability doesn't seem like too terrible to deal with. We have a Jester. I have a hard time figuring out how to make good use of you, because if you're lying, your information is like hard to use. I am good. And we know that's true because you say it. We can believe the confessor. Judge. You help reveal information. One way to test if the judge is telling the truth or not is like just evaluate them. If he says that they're good, then we know you're good, but... Okay, got a Bombardier over here. One is evil. 1, 4, or 8. Okay. 1, 4, or 8. They're either all good and you're bad, or there's a bad one there. Number 7 is a real lover. 1 evil adjacent to me. Well, you could be vouching for them, and you're vouching for them and saying that was the evil one. And if you're the evil one, that would check out with what you're saying. And then maybe you could also be the evil. Or you could be lying, and you could also be lying. And you could both be the bad ones. Close to evil being counterclockwise, that makes sense. One is evil, but then you... No, it can't be that, because then you would be saying one of them, would you not? You would be vouching them as evil. So... Do we need to judge if you are telling truth or not by checking on the confessor? I think we do. Check you. Number 2 is lying, but they're good. Which means you're lying. You're the bad one, Judge. You are the twin minion. Which means Ba is still aloof. Now where is Ba? I could use the Jester's ability, but you could be evil. Which means it would not be very useful to me because you would just lie. What I could do is pick the evil one, and then 2 ones that I know are good. Because there has to be 1 outcast on the board, so I don't think you're pretending to be a Bombardier. So I know you're good, I know you're evil, I know you're good. And if I have you evaluate these 3 over here, and you feed me false information, then I know you're lying, and I know you're the bad one. But if you're lying, and you're lying, there's no more liars left, you'd be telling the truth, but that'd be a lie, so maybe it can't be you. I think, so based on you saying 1 evil adjacent to me, either you're telling the truth, and one of you guys is evil, or you're lying, and you're the evil one. So one of these 3 is the bad ones, right? Okay, so one of these 3 is the bad ones, based on what you're saying, and you're telling me one of these 3 is the bad ones. The overlapping thing is you right here. You're the bad one. We got you. Village is safe. New character unlocked. Slayer and Knitter. Pick 1 character. If evil picked, execute it. I have a hard time... Once the corruption play comes into play, I have a hard time getting value out of you. Learn how many evils are adjacent to each other. Okay. Which is sometimes useful. But that was... Oh, that we beat the first level. Now we're on the next Ascension. Okay. We keep going. There's 1 evil among all characters. Find and kill it. It just gets harder and harder. We eventually lose. Or you win. Enough Ascensions are happy with it. Okay. So there's 1 witch. Alright. Go here. 2, 3, or 5. So 2, 3, 5. Okay. I'm good. Fantastic. You're good. I'm 2 cards away from closest evil. So it could be this, like you're saying, or it could be you. So, or it could be you. So one of you guys, one of you 3 is bad. There is only 1 evil. I mean, yeah, you can't tell how far they are away because of that, so you're good. Right? Because you told the truth. There's only 1 evil. Ah, it's one of you 2, huh? Okay. So that doesn't really narrow it down. You're pointing to one of those 2. Well, we know it's one of those 2 because we're copying the same thing, right? And you're a witch blocking that one, so we know you're good. Okay. One of those 2. You're saying 2, 4, or 6. You're saying, we know it's not 6. You're also saying 4. 2 is good. 4 is good. 6 is good. If you're lying, all characters are good. You're the bad one. You're lying. You're the bad one. This was the Bombardier. Now the corruption comes into play. The Poisoner. Game start, one adjacent villager is corrupted. I think corruption can only work on villagers. I'm not sure, though. Lie in disguise. So he corrupts and makes the villagers tell lies, so it makes it hard to tell if they're... Oh, somebody's lying. Well, they could be corrupted. They could be a good guy who's been tricked into lying, or they could actually be a bad guy. Learn how far I am from closest corrupted character. This is where it starts to get real complicated. And the more evil guys there are, the more corruption there is, the more and more complicated it gets, and eventually it gets too hard for my feeble little brain. We're doing good so far. Alright, let's pick 3 characters. Alright. You're the one I have the hardest time figuring out how to get value out of. Maybe I'll figure it out here. I am 1 card away from corrupted character. So, here's the thing. You could be telling the truth, and one of you guys could be corrupted and lying, which would mean that the Poisoner would be here or here, corrupting this or this, you know, from here into here, corrupted, here, corrupted. If you're telling the truth. If you're lying, you might be corrupted by the Poisoner, which means you could be the Poisoner. So 1, 2, 3, 4 possible Poisoner positions. So, you know, based on this, we have what button is it? 3? 3 on the keyboard here. So any of these could be the Poisoner based on you. If you're telling the truth, Poisoner. If you're corrupted yourself, Poisoner. If or you yourself could be the Poisoner. So the Poisoner, based on the information you were giving, is one of these 5 over here, which is not a ton of information, but it's something. But yeah, boss still out there, but yeah, so we'll do that what we can. I am dizzy. So here's the thing. You are either evil or corrupted, so you could be the Poisoner, or you could be corrupted by the Poisoner. Now, this might give us information. You're 1 card away from a corrupted character. You are... The question is, do evil cards register as corruption? I don't know if they do. I don't think they do. I think evil registers as evil, right? So if this is the Poisoner, and you have corrupted the Confessor, then everything makes sense. You're telling the truth, 1 card away from a corrupted character, you're corrupted, so that's why you're lying, and you're the Poisoner, you've corrupted them. That all check out. So basically, you're either corrupted by the Poisoner, or you are the Poisoner. Which means the Poisoner is not... how do I get him off of here? Yeah, there we go. So, yes. I mean, actually, you could also be the Poisoner. So, it's... The Poisoner is in one of these 3 tiles based on your 2's interaction with each other. Because you're either... Wait, you could be the... you could be lying. Wait, I'm not sure if I narrowed things down or not, because you could also, like... You could be the Poisoner, corrupting them. You're telling the truth, detecting that they're corrupted, and you could just be the other bad guy, lying. So actually, that doesn't narrow it down. Keep it going. Evils are not adjacent to each other. Okay. If you're the Poisoner, you could be lying about that. If you're you could be lying about that. Okay. I need things to help narrow it down. Closest evils counterclockwise. You're pointing that way. Okay. Unless you are... I'm starting to think it might be... I'm suspecting a Poisoner here. Based on you are either corrupted... Like, one of you 2 is probably bad. If I had to guess, based on how you're pointing over here, and then... Yeah, maybe. Okay, that narrows it down. I should look at more cards. It's just kind of fun to do one at a time and see what you can deduce before overwhelming with 7 things at once. There's only 1 pair of evil. What it means by 1 pair of evil is basically, are they like next to each other on the board? You know, how many evils are adjacent to each other? So there's one. So this knitter is saying the 2 evil cards are next to each other. This knitter is saying the 2 evil cards are not next to each other. But the reality is, one of you 2 is bad. One of you 2 is bad. Check this. We have the Wretch. Okay. So, if you're saying there's 1 pair of evil, that means you're saying that there is an evil next to here. Is what you're saying. Now, if you're evil, you would not self-report, right? This is where it gets real complicated. And even more so as we go on. I want to use you to check for liars. I don't think Wretch is going to be lying right now. I mean, I guess they could be... I'm not sure if these guys can get corrupted. That's one thing I'm not sure about. This is one adjacent villager is corrupted. You're an outcast, not a villager. I don't think you can get corrupted, so checking you, learn how many of them are evil. No, you're not checking for corruption, you check for evil. What I want is to, like, reduce information. I could click you for one of them, like this, and so you'll say at least one. And who do I suspect is good? I get the feeling you might be good. Well, first of all, cancel that. You are not the poisoner. Can you be corrupted? You could be corrupted if you are the poisoner. But would the poisoner would not tell the truth about being one card away from a corrupted character. Which means I don't think you're the poisoner, right? Yeah, that logic holds up. Because you're not the poisoner. Actually, the poisoner could pretend to be... No. The poisoner can pretend to be the poisoner can pretend to be the wretch, but there is one wretch on the board, and there has to be one outcast on the board. Current deck, right? 4 villagers on the board, one of each of these. Okay. This is what's in my deck. This is what's on the board. You're the outcast there, so nobody's pretending to be an outcast right now of you two. Which means you are not a poisoner corrupting them. You could be... I just want to know, like, are you corrupted? If you are corrupted, you would have to be the poisoner corrupting here. If you're the poisoner corrupting here... I don't think you're corrupted. You could still be Ba, though. You know, I'm going to think in my head for a while here and get back to... I could be here another 10 minutes, easily. Enlightened. Look at this. If they're telling the truth, see how they are 1-2 cards away from a guaranteed evil, because you register as evil, even though you're good. So, if you are telling the truth, that means that the closest evil counterclockwise would be here or here. It says equidistance if they're at the same distance, so... If you are a good guy telling the truth, then, you know, this is the bad guy because, you know, 1-2. If you are 1-2 or more in telling the truth, you'd be pointing this way. So if you're telling the truth, you're a bad guy. If you are lying, then you would say the closest evil is clockwise. If you're there's something here. If you're telling the truth, it has to be this because if you're telling the truth, you would either say... and it's this or this or this, it'll be showing up as the other direction or equidistant or whatever. But are you lying or corrupted, though? I need to think more. I need to think. I mean, well, actually, what am I thinking? This is obvious. You are pointing... One of these is bad. One of these is bad. There's a bad guy here or here. We know that. Which means there's only one more that could be bad. You, or you. So if this is a bad guy here and it's a poisoner... pointing at you, that'll explain why you're corrupted. And that could make you the bad guy. I could use you to get information. If I click here and here, I know there will be one evil here. If I click here, I could find out if you're evil. If you're evil, well then we just get you. And that means you have to be good and we get you. And it's these two and that holds up true. If you're good, then that means... he could be lying too, right? I think there's something here, I'm just going to try it. Among 4, 6, and 3, there are 0 evils. So, if that's true... Wait. You're the bad guy. You're the bad guy because, we know there's at least one. Or you're corrupted. So you are either, you're either corrupted or evil. So you are either corrupted or evil. You are either corrupted or evil. Right? If you're corrupted, you're the poisoner. You'd be Ba. Hold up. If you're corrupted, then you have to be the poisoner. If you're the poisoner, and you've corrupted them, because you only corrupt one, right? Then why are you lying? You can't be bad, because there's over here. There can't be 1, 2, 3 bad. Which means I don't think you can be corrupted. I think you're a bad guy. I think you're bad. Yep, gotcha, you're bad. Means you are cleared, you're good. And you've just been corrupted, you're good. Poison's here, we gotcha. Done. Took a while, we got it. Keep it going. It's only gonna get harder. Fortune teller. Pick 2 characters, learn if any of them is evil. I have a hard time getting value of it. Like, once there's so many levels of corruption, it gets really hard tell. Oracle, you, I find, are sometimes pretty useful. Learn that 1 out of 2 characters is a specific minion role. Useful. What do we have here? We have Ba, 1 fake outcast to add to the deck. You're a good one to have because you just add fake outcast over here. It's not so bad. Just like, it just confuses your deck, right? Which is usually sorted with click the cards. You line this, guys. This doesn't seem like too bad of one, actually. Decent card draw here for a 7, 5, or 6. You're a good one to get. We like getting you. We want 7, 5, or 6. Where's 7, 5, 6? Okay. Wretch. Let's see if you're the actual wretch or not, right? Because you guys could pretend to be a wretch. Over here we have a fortune teller. Pick 2 characters, learn if any of them is evil. Number 4. You're saying 8 is good. You're vouching for 8. Okay, number 5. 2 fortune tellers, so one of you is clearly bad, so cast suspicion upon thee with, I mean, I kind of like having that, can't have red and yellow there, I guess. Okay, whatever. What's going on here? I was trying to, like, mark you with red and yellow. Ba is 1 card away from closest evil. Okay, you're giving me information. No evils adjacent to you, you're vouching for them. And a jester. Okay, so only 1 wretch on the board. So wretch is verified as a goodie. You're a goodie. You're vouching for 8. Is anybody corrupted? Is there any corruption here? You lied in skies. There's no corruption here, which is really nice. The corruption is what makes it super hard. No evils adjacent to you. Checks out with maybe you being evil, or all 3 of you being good and you being the evil. I have a hard time with the game once it comes down to, like, use these guys' abilities to check to see who's evil when there's corruption on the board. But there's no corruption on the board, so I need to catch you in, like, a lie trap. So if I have you check wretch and 2 that I suspect are good, and you say they're all good or something, it's an obvious lie, right? Well, we know where one of the evil guys is. Where might the other evil guy be? Ba is 1 card away from closest evil. So according to you, I mean, we don't know where Ba is. Well, what you're saying is that Ba and the other guy are on top of each other. So if you're saying that they're right next to each other, which would mean here. The only way for you to be telling the truth is if you're the bad guy, and then you guys are here, and you are here. You're 1 card away from closest evil. Actually, it could be you. If you're telling the truth, then it's not you. So it would be you and you, or it would be you and you. Wait, Ba's 1 card away from closest evil. You count as evil. Yeah. So if you're telling the truth, Ba could be here, 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 here. That doesn't really help a whole lot. Also, you could be lying. Well, how do I narrow this? Well, there's either 1 in here or 0 in here. Which means, since there's no corruption, either one of you is telling the truth, or both of you are telling the truth. If I have you check them, and you check them and them, I could probably narrow down which one of you is the bad one with that information, because we know your data. Well, what'll happen is one will say there's 2 evils, and the other will say there's 1 evil, or 0 evils. That doesn't really narrow it, does it? Because I don't know which. I guess one of you says there's 0 evils. Wait. If I have you check them, and you check them and them, whichever view is saying there's 2 evils is telling the truth. And that helps me figure out which of you is the bad guys. And if you're the bad guy, then we know you're telling the truth, and those are telling the truth. If you're telling the truth, then that's the truth, and I can trust you. But what if it's not right? I'm just going to go with it, because it seems clever. But there could be something wrong. Is number 2 or 5 evil false? And you check the other ones. True. Okay. And now I'm supposed to narrow it down, right? Or was I supposed to check the same one multiple times? I think I'm supposed to check the same 2 both times. Crap. Yeah. They're just pointing fingers at each other. Crap. Can I undo? Alright. Wait. No. Learn if any of them are evil. Is any of them evil? False. You're lying. Because he registers as evil. You're the bad guy. I was right in my test. Okay. Which means you're good. You're verified good. Because I'm pretty sure these guys can only disguise as things that are like on the board already. Why can't I right-clicking? Yeah. Pretends to be a different role. I think they can only pretend to be a role that's on the board. Actually, no, I think that's not necessarily true. So you're good, which means if you're lying, you're bad. They're both good. So it's one of you guys. So that means you're good, and by extension, you're good. And I can use you to learn how many are evil. Well, you're right about them not being evil. About them. I mean, I could just check here, 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 and if you say there's 3 evil, then you're the bad guy. But if you say there's only 2 evil, that means you're good, and I'm down to a 50-50. You're saying Ba is 1 card away from closest evil. Well, you're the minion. Where's Ba? The only way you can be telling the truth is if you're Ba. Near them, because we know you're not Ba. So it's either you or you. Which means you're telling the truth. It's gotta be you. I think it's you. Let's do a check over here. 3 evils. Yep, it's you. It's you. Village is safe. Okay. But yeah, Ascension, the second run here in Ascension 2 is tough, and it just gets harder. I couldn't even get past Village 7. So we'll see if we can do it this time, though. Plague Doctor makes it really hard because he just corrupts a villager at the start by default. And I'm not sure if that like overlaps with the corruption the other things do. Pick one, like the Poisoner. I don't know if they can they override each other if you're guaranteed to get 3. I don't know, or 2. But he can also pick a character. If it's corrupted, he can like figure out another evil character. But what if he's evil and deceives me, right? The alchemist over here can cure corruption, but you don't know how many corruptions are applied. And once these guys are, if both these guys are on the board and another guy applies corruption, it becomes like impossible to tell if you have anywhere from like 0 to 3 corruption on the board. It gets like, who's telling the truth? I could have 60% liars, or I could have like 2% liars. It's like, or, you know, 2 liars. It's hard to tell. Yeah, we got Plague Doctor, we got Poisoner, Alchemist. Hopefully, yeah, once you have like 7 layers of corruption on the board and corruption clans, it just gets really hard to figure out who's lying, who's not. 8 is a real Empress. Also, this particular character, their lies thing, I don't really understand. My info includes disguised character. I find it confusing. I just figure, basically, if they're telling the truth, that means this is a real Empress. If they're corrupted or lying, then it's not a real Empress. That's all I got out of it. No evil adjacent to. You're vouching for both of them, unless you're corrupted. Lying. Number 2 is 7, which Oracle's a useful one. Some cards are just not that useful. You are useful, because you were saying number 2 or 7 is a witch. So either one of these 2 is a witch, or you're like the Empress. Like you're like the Empress, which you point at 2. You point specifically to a minion, right? So Empress says 1 out of 3 is bad, or they're all good. You say one of those 2 is bad, or they're good. You're like it's like a more narrowed down version of the Empress, right? Yeah, seems like it. Yeah, point specifically to minion, I think. I cured 1 corruption, or you yourself are corrupted and are lying, and your ability doesn't work. Or so you either cured 1 corruption, or you were corrupted and thus cured no corruption, or you're the bad guy just lying and say they cured 1 corruption, no corruption. So basically, you either cured 1 corruption or 0 corruption, because if you're the bad guy, you don't have the actual power to corrupt. So either 1 or 0 corruptions happened in here or here. There's the Plague Doctor. So somebody got corrupted here, and yeah, that's that. Question, is there a second one? Okay, I can't reveal the last card. Number 3 is good. I think you're pointing to number 8. So do I want to unlock number 8 or do I unlock number 7? Number 8 is going to say that it's an Empress. What cards could be here? Like, which one do I want to find? I could reveal the Empress and, you know, use the Empress, see which ones they're pointing at, and that either points out 1 is evil or all 3 are good, whatever. Or I could get you to reveal. Let's see, what do we have here? Lover, Oracle, Empress there, Lover, Oracle. If I do this, I might find a duplicate. And it's really easy to see, okay, yeah, there's a copy, right? And that narrows it down a lot. Alchemist is down there. Medium, Gemcrafter, medium. I think I've got all 5 out here, right? Yeah, 5 villagers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I don't have all. I've got 5, so this one could just be one of these guys pretending to be the 6th one, or it could be a duplicate. So reveal this, could be a duplicate of Empress or these other ones. So good chance of this being a duplicate of somebody else to narrow it down. This could be the Empress to help me, like, oh, these 3, some are bad. Poisoner corrupts 1 person. You corrupt 1 person. So either you're a bad guy, no corruption's been cured, or you've been corrupted by the poisoner next to you and you've cured no corruption. Or you got corrupted by the... it doesn't narrow down. It gets so complicated here. You're saying number 3 is good. You're vouching for number 3. If I click you, and you're just a medium, would that even be useful? I feel like the Empress... What good would it have the Empress to tell me that there's 3 characters and... I mean, effectively helps me narrow down that, like, only one of them can be bad. Let's do 7. Let's see what you got here. Another alchemist! I think that's more... I mean, we got lucky there's a duplicate. There's a small chance it might not have been. But we know one of you guys is bad. And there's a good chance that... some or all the corruption has been cured, maybe. You're saying that number 2 or 7 is a witch. One of you guys is clearly bad. So you're pointing here. You're pointing here. You're pointing here. So we have a double point. I can, like, do my little drawing thing. Like, you're pointing this way. And you're pointing this way. And you're pointing this way. You know, kind of like undo that last one. Right click. Like down here. Like that. Do it in red because they're like making accusations. And in green, you're vouching for green. Lover's vouching for these two. So we have a double vouch for the Oracle. You're vouching for the Empress. Maybe these arrows actually kind of help on screen. We have 2 people vouching for the Oracle. That's strong vouch vibes. Strong vouching. It is possible we could have a double corruption situation. Or you could be a bad guy and you could be corrupt. You could be a bad guy that did not cleanse your corruption. You're lying about them. And you could be a bad guy lying about them. There's only so many bad guys on the board, right? I think my mentality for this game is I'm sometimes just going to, like, take a guess and hope for the best, because some of this stuff is just beyond me trying to, like, figure out all the levels of, like, narrowing it down correctly. I'm not even sure if it's possible. I think you're probably... No. You're probably good. You're probably good. I'm going to guess that you're good. And if you're good... I mean, you could be good and still corrupted, is a concern. What if we check to see if you're corrupted? Boom, you. Not corrupted. So 2 people are saying you're good, 1 person saying you're not corrupted. I'm gonna say that you're the bad guy. Okay, we got it. I'm not sure if that was probably, like, deduced or just lucky guess. Once I get to this point in the game, it just kind of gets so convoluted and, like, there could be 2 different corruptions, or this guy could be cleansed of corruption, or could be this or that, or you could do this, but you could be corrupted, or you could just like, it's like, oh my, it just gets really, really difficult. And I think at some point, I'm gonna guess, because I'm not actually sure if every possible iteration of this game is solvable. I think it's possible that this game might be in a state... We know you're good, so it's not gonna be that. It's possible that this playtest of this game might have some scenarios where you can't logic your way out of it and you just have to guess. And I don't know which ones those are, and I don't want to spend 30 minutes in every puzzle here. It's already been slow-paced as it is at the last few levels. So you're saying one of those 2 is evil. Okay, so we know you're good. Don't know if you're corrupt or not. We know you're good. We know you're good. You are saying there are no evils adjacent to you, but you could be corrupted, because you could have corrupted over there. Anybody could be corrupted because of you. You're a nightmare to have on the board. The value you provide to, like, read an evil character is not worth the fact that you make somebody corrupted on top of other people corrupting, and also you yourself in some matches could be a bad guy. I guess you would be 2 plague doctors in that case, and you see on the board, but so we know you're good because there's only 1 plague doctor, so we can trust you if you actually find a corrupted person, but you didn't. You're saying 3 is good, and 3 was correct about this, so that means you're good, I believe. Yeah. There's only 1 plague doctor on the board, so you're good. I'm not figuring out corruption here, I'm just figuring out who's good or not. I mean, I got the corruption mark on you. You weren't corrupted because you were right about that. But, I mean, could you be corrupted? I mean, if you corrupted them, yes, you could be corrupted. You don't corrupt yourself. Could you have been corrupted by an evil character? I don't know if you can get corrupted by an evil character. Can you? I will always see myself not corrupted, even if I'm evil. Which is a strange hint, because it makes me think that, like, this guy checking an evil person will register as corrupted. I don't know. This game could do with a better tutorial, frankly, about some of these more niche examples. You cured one corruption. So either you cured a corruption off of here or here, or you yourself are corrupted. Okay, so the Empress and Oracle are really useful, though. So you're basically telling me, of these three characters, either one of you is evil, or none of you is evil. Which means one of you guys is a good guy. Or both of you. 8 is a real Empress. If you are telling the truth, then you are both good. If you are lying, then you are corrupted and they are bad. But if you are lying, you yourself would not be bad. Well, no, If you are a liar, if you are the remaining bad guy, the poisoner. If you are the poisoner, you could poison them and they'd be giving... they'd just be lying and saying that, right? If you're a poisoner, you would not say 8 is a real Empress. Because, they would be a real... If you're a liar, then they're real. And you would not tell the truth. So you're not the liar. Yeah, you can't be the liar. Because if you're the liar, then you're saying that they're the real Empress. And, they would be the real Empress, because we already found the other evil. And liars don't tell the truth. So you can't be a liar. So you're good, but you could maybe be corrupted. Possibly corrupted. You're saying no evil is adjacent to you, which is correct. So you, we don't know, you could be corrupted. I feel like we've narrowed down everybody else. Let's give it a whirl. We got it. Okay, yeah, we cleared everybody else, so it had to be them. Next. Alright. Counsellor I like, he's actually one of the easier ones to figure out. One villager becomes an outcast role, he sits next to it. So, you can be like, okay, here's outcasts. Well, one of these guys around him is a counselor. The doppelganger, they disguise as a good villager currently in play. So if you see, like, twinsies on there, and you're missing another outcast, it's a doppelganger, and they just do the ability of the doppelganger. But they think of themselves as a disguise if they ever, like, self-evaluate. That's kind of how they work. Yeah. Something this game could be a touch better explained, but, like, who do we have? We have Ba. So, of these 3, only 2 are out there, and you will be sitting next to one of them. Okay. Empress, Oracle, love to see it. Those seem to be good ones. Hunter's not bad either. Gemcrafter, 9 is good. So you say? I'm 1 card away from closest evil. Okay. It could be you. Could be you. Are there any corruption guys out there? Oh, lucky day. No corruption guys. That's so strong. Corruption makes things so hard. The fact that there's no corruption makes it a lot more easy to, like, deduce. Okay. 1 card away from closest evil. You're telling the truth, because there's an evil right there. Unless there's 2 wretches, but that would still be evil. So you're telling the truth. You're good. You're good. Right there. Number 7 or number 1 is a counselor. So, counselor sounds like a good guy thing, but I got my first, 2 hours of practice. I had to delete because I struggled so much. I confused this guy for a good guy for a long time. Counselor sounds like a good guy role. It's not. It's the bad guy. Alright, so you're saying one of them is baddie. Well, we've already... I was like, or you could be somebody pretending to be the bad guy. So, either... So it's either you or you. It's either you or you. Either this is the counselor, or you're a baddie, or you're... there's no corruption. So yeah, there's a bad guy in one of these 2 spots. There are no corrupted characters. You're telling the truth, because there are none. There's nobody that applies corruption here. Lucky draw. 3 cards away from closest evil. I highly suspect that you're a bad guy. Highly suspect that you're a bad guy because, well, I'm pretty sure we verified you as good. For here we have a knight. I can't die. Unless they're corrupted. If they're corrupted, they can die. If they're a bad guy, though, and there's no corruption on the board, you just click this and take them out for, like, free intel. Empress. 1's evil. 5, 7, or 3? Well, yeah. 5, 7, or 3. 5 is good. 3 is evil. 7 is, I'm presuming good. Which means I'm thinking it's you. Jester. Alright. You're bad. Wait, what? Wait, what? You lose 5 hit points when you fail one. Mess up again, you lose a heart. I don't think you heal in between rounds. I am 1 card away from closest evil. But you are 1 card away from the closest evil. Wretch registers as evil, to you. You're telling the truth. Learn how far from me is the nearest evil. I think this might be a playtest bug or error here, because I failed to see where my logic failed. Unless you're the doppelganger. How many doppelganger? No, I only have one outcast. One outcast on the board. So, and it's the wretch. Unless you're... could I have a doppelganger situation? No, I mean, it's gotta be you, right? No, it was a doppelganger situation. Okay. I didn't know that was possible. So you can have 2 outcasts on the board, even though it only says 1. That doesn't seem right. Because it's not like it was a bad guy pretending to be the wretch. We just had an extra... We just had an extra outcast somehow. Oh, it's because... Don't you add an outcast? Yeah, I think this guy, Counsellor, adds an outcast. Okay, that's just me making a mistake there. We keep it going. Reset the score, but we keep going on Village 5 over here. Get another try. Yeah, I'm dumb. One villager becomes an outcast role. He adds an outcast role. I need to remember that. You again adding one of these guys. Not the Plague Doctor. Please, not the Plague Doctor. No corrupted characters. Please let it be true. Nope. You're lying. Unless the alchemist cleansed it. Knitter. Evils are not adjacent to each other. We'll see. Confessor. I'm good. Finally! A gimme. Like, I need this. You gotta give me at least one thing per round that's just kind of like, yes, I can deduce something. Otherwise, it just gets so complicated, so difficult. Number 7 is good, so you say... Okay, so you're kind of like the Oracle and the other guy that like kind of narrows down like either it's me or them kind of thing. Unless you're lying. So we have a situation here where it's, you're, you know, one of these things, right? Okay. You could be a bad guy. Okay, I've got 2 outcasts on the board, which makes sense because you add an outcast, so I should have 2 outcasts. 1 plus your 1 is 2. I'm supposed to have 2 outcasts on the board, so far checks out. Enlightened, close and evil is that way they're saying. Alright. And this. So we have 2 outcasts on the board, which means those are both genuine outcasts. It's not you guys pretending to be them. So that means you are in fact good, and you are in fact good. Which means if I test you on somebody, I can trust that your test is accurate. If I can have a suspicion of who's corrupted. There is no alchemist on the board, which means you are either corrupted or a bad guy. If I check this on you, and it reveals that you are corrupted, your power will show me an evil character. If I use my power on you, and you're not corrupted, I know you're lying, you're evil. So you are going to give me information, one way or another. Number 1 is not corrupted, which means they're evil. Which means they're evil, and also it helps me learn about his power. His power doesn't show, evil doesn't register for him. So you are a baddie. There we go. You're the counselor, okay? And there are no more corrupteds, which means there's only 1 more liar on the board right now. Close evils counterclockwise. So either, I mean, you've got evil right over here. So it's either here or here. Because if you were saying, well, it's gotta be you then. Yeah, because if you're telling the truth, well, it's gotta be there. Because, you know, this is 2 tiles way over there and you're good, right? So it's there. If you're, because they're not corrupted. If you're lying, well, then you are the bad guy. You're vouching for number 7. You're saying number 7 is good. We know you're telling the truth because it's one of those guys, so you're good, so it's gotta be you. What do you mean? What do you mean it's not them? What do you mean it's not them? Closes evils counterclockwise. You're saying the evil is right here. There's only 2 evil guys out here, right? Yeah, there's only 2 evils. What do you mean? Evils are not adjacent to each other? I think that's true. So you're telling the truth, which means you are evil. But that doesn't make sense, because if you're evil, that means you're lying. How can you and you and you be lying? Because I thought the corruption was cleared. It's not. You're corrupted. You're good and corrupted. Feeding me false information about them because you didn't find the corruption. I thought you found the corruption. I'm dumb. It is you. Okay. Got you. And do we heal me too? I don't think we do. Drunk. I disguise as a random, not in play villager. I am corrupted and I lie. I cannot be cured. Okay. Curing is a thing. Pick 3 characters, learn what random outcasts among them. I don't feel like that's very useful. I feel like the outcasts are usually pretty easy to find out. The only ones that are really hidden would be the druid. And the druid is kind of like self-evident when there's two on the board of it, right? Plague Doctor, gross. I hate it when the Plague Doctor's on there. They're so... Corruption's awful. Okay, we have... At least only one corruption on the board is not bad. Cannot reveal the last card. So, can't reveal the last card. You line disguise. One fake outcast is added to the deck view. That's gonna be you. So, you're the fake outcast, so we only have we only have one outcast, and it's the Plague Doctor. There will be no doppelganger, because this is fake in here. And you're just a copycat of a guy, you're a copycat of a guy, you're a copycat of a guy that blocks a card. It's not too bad to deal with. RNG seems decent for us here. Two evils adjacent to you. I mean, the Plague I guess somebody could be hiding as the Plague Doctor, maybe? And you could be telling the truth. Check this. Knight. Can't die. Unless you're corrupted, which means I can't test you. Closest evil is counterclockwise. Could be. I mean, I'm suspicious of you. The only way you're telling the truth is if there are two Plague Doctors. Which I can't tell, because I can't flip all the cards. 4 or 8 is a witch. So you're saying 4 or 8 is a witch. Keep in mind, there's only one corruption out there. Just one. It's not too bad to deal with. Okay. 4 or 8 is a witch. Alright. Do I want to flip 8s? Maybe I do, actually. One evil adjacent to me. Well, we know one of you guys is bad. And the fact that you're pointing to them makes it very likely that it could be them, right? Should I flip both of these for more information? Probably. Aha! There are 2 Plague Doctors, which makes me think you're telling the truth. That makes me highly suspicious that you're telling the truth. Which card do I flip here? Do we have 2 baddies next to each other over here? Should I flip this to see what they have to say for themselves, or I flip this for intel? I can't die. Unless you're corrupted. Hints. I always see myself as not corrupted even if I am evil, which I think means their power should always work, I think. So you can always, even if you're a bad guy, I can still reveal your power. For science, you're saying they are corrupted. What do you say? Not corrupted. Okay, so you can lie about your power. Okay. That wasn't to like help me in this current round. That was just for me to like understand how the Plague Doctors work. The Plague Doctor can lie about their power. We already knew one was evil. Obviously, if I'd done that on anybody, you would have said the same thing. One would have told the truth, one would have lied. Wait. If the knight actually was corrupted, the real Plague Doctor would have revealed an evil character to me. No evil character got revealed to me. The knight is not corrupted. You are free of corruption, so I don't have to worry about executing you and taking damage because you're corrupted. But, so we know you're free of corruption, which means I can actually get some value out of you, because you can't die unless you're corrupted, which you're not. So I can test to see if you're actually, you can die if you're the bad guy. Doesn't work, which means you are good. Actually got value out of the knight when there's a bunch of corruption on the board. When there's corruption on the board, nice. Okay. Still haven't a card to flip, I'm just waiting. And we know you're good, which means you're lying when you say 2 evils are adjacent to you, which means you're either corrupted or bad. You're either corrupted or bad, one of those. I have no way of lowering it, aside from you potentially telling the truth and pointing to them suspiciously. Or you could be pointing to them, actually. Like, it could be here, and you're pointing to that one. Or you could be the witch just straight up lying to me. Or I could be over... Wait, there's 3 evils. Well, we know one's here. The second's here. There's a third somewhere. Now, which card do I use, though? Do I use this to check, because you're saying there's evil next to you? Check it? Or, yeah, let's just do it over here. Empress! Good pull. Legendary pull. 3, 6, or 5. So, you're saying 1 is evil. We know... Or one of these is evil. We know 3 is good. 6 or 5. You're casting Suspicious on these 2 over here. So, either... So, of these guys over here, either all good, if you're lying, or 1 is evil. So we know one. So that tells us that one of these 2 cards is good for sure, possibly both. Not sure how much that helps me. If I find out that you're evil, that does tell me Did I heal between rounds? I'm not sure. If you're right, and they're evil, and that's a good one, and you're evil, and you will, then that means if you're evil, then we know that those are both good. And then you'll have deduced that we'll know that you're good. And so if you're good, then evil, right? And then good, and then evil. And we'll found out 2 that way. And the third's in here. And then you could be corrupted. If you're corrupted, you could be false, you could be corrupted or lying. Something about the game getting real hard to figure out. I feel like I need to guess here. Can't flip this because of the witch. If I could figure out who's corrupted, that'd be so powerful. That's just basically figuring out who's lying. But even then, it's not telling me who's corrupted. That's just telling me if they're either corrupted or a bad guy. So you're either corrupted or a bad guy, which doesn't narrow a whole lot for us. I mean, couldn't you be either corrupted or a bad guy, right? I think you could be either corrupted or a bad guy. I feel like that's most everybody. I think the only one I know for sure is 3. The rest could be anything. It's because that one corruption that we didn't figure out. I can't deduce you because you could be corrupted. Good corrupted or just a bad guy? We know you're lying. I can't use your lie to give me any useful information. I know there's a baddie here. I know there's a baddie here. Where's the last baddie? If I can deduce the last baddie, it gets easier maybe. You're not bad. It's one of you 4. Is any of you, like, clear? One or both of you is clear, so I've got a 50-50 over here, or just safe. Closest evil is counterclockwise. I mean, that could be 1-2 tiles away, meaning clear, clear. It could be you're bad here, and then, I mean, you could be the other bad one for all I know, and then that would hold up. If you're lying, then the closest evil would be this way. 1, 2, 3 tiles away, and 4, and 5. I mean, that gives me no information. If lies, both characters in my info are good. If there's a way to deduce this, I don't know it. Please don't be corrupted. Okay, we got lucky. They were not corrupted. How so lucky they were not corrupted. Which means you are good. Could still be corrupted, though. Wait, I'm dumb. We deduce that you are not corrupted. You are not corrupted, which means you are telling the truth. Wait, there's 2 corrupteds out there, by the way. You are not corrupted, which means you were telling the truth. Which means you're the bad one. Could have figured that out all along. Which means you're good. Still don't know who the 2 corrupted are. Didn't get the witch, so I still can't flip that, unfortunately. You're talking about 3, 6, and 5. You're talking about 4 and 8. Does that help me narrow anything? I mean, it lets me know that you're good. Doesn't tell me if you're telling the truth. I don't think you can get corrupted because you're outcast, right? You can lie if you're evil, but I don't think you get corrupted. I don't think you guys are corrupted either, so... 2 of you guys are corrupted. You were not corrupted, so... half of you 4 are corrupted, unless, I mean, over here, maybe. Closest evil is counterclockwise. I think you're probably telling the truth. I mean, unless you're the evil one. No, and you're corrupted. You could be corrupted in the... I mean, could be, such a good chance. Okay. 3, 6, and 5. So 6 and 5 are either both good, or there's 1 good in there. I feel like the Empress was a useless flip. I should have flipped 6. I had no way of knowing. The Empress could have been there for all I knew. I think everybody's possibly corrupted, right? Like, everybody's possibly corrupt over here. Not you, though. You're useless to me. You're lying about 2 evils adjacent to you, so there's less than 2. Yeah, we know that. You're lying. You say number 3 is evil, number 3 is corrupted. We already figured that out. 1 evil is adjacent to you. You could be lying because of corruption. 1's evil, 3, 6, or 5. You could be lying because of corruption, or you could be the bad guy, so... it's either 1 evil or no evil amongst here. Doesn't really help. This doesn't help because it could be here or here. If you're corrupted or lying, then you're evil. If you're evil, then you're not evil. You'd be lying, so it'd have to be corrupted and evil. 4 or 8 is a witch. If lies, both the characters in my info are good. You could be the witch lying about them being the witch. And you could be corrupted, pointing the wrong direction. And you could be corrupted, saying there's 1 evil next to you when there's not. I'm thinking it might be you. I mean, it makes sense, right? If you're the witch, you're lying about them, and they're both clear. And if they're both clear, and you're the evil, why are you saying this evil next to you? Because you're corrupted, that's one of the corruption. And then you would be just telling the truth. And then you're the other corruption. I think we're probably right. Yeah. Oh, man. Okay, sorry. Oh, you were good. You were good. That narrows a bit. You could still be corrupted, though. If you're corrupted, they're both good. So these are either both good, or one of them is the witch. You're telling the truth about the closest evil being counterclockwise, because if the closest evil is over here, you would say equidistant. Which means you're telling the truth, which means you are not corrupted, and you are a goodie, which is actually helpful. So it costs 5 hit points, but gain some intel, which leaves here, here, and here. You're good, you're telling the truth about them. Wait, no. You were good, but I think you were corrupted. Actually, oh no, either you're corrupted or you're the baddie, lying about there being evil next to you, and you're corrupted. I mean, that would make sense. Corrupted, bad. The other thing makes sense too, but like, it's kind of gotta guess at these points. Not enough information, maybe. Or I'm missing something. Or I just kind of messed up using these guys the way I shouldn't have earlier. Yeah, you are telling me, maybe it's possible in this game to screw yourself where like, you could have figured it out if you didn't use your plague doctors incorrectly. Yeah, so you're saying witch, you're good, but you'd be corrupted, so that'd be one of the corruptions identified, right? And if you're the evil one, then they're actually good, and they're corrupted as well, and that's 2 corruptions found. So it could be the lover, could be you. If you're evil, like reverse logic it maybe, if you're evil, then you're lying, and 3, 6, and 5 are good, which checks out on these 2. And you're corrupted, a bit wrong about this. And I just want to click it and go. I'm running out of patience. Been playing for an hour and almost 20 minutes now. I guess 2 runs, but still. Wait, does this reveal more than I think? We revealed that you were telling the truth and not corrupted because you're pointing it here. You're good. If this is bad, because if you were bad, you would have lied and pointed over here. I think this is good. Yeah. Because if this was bad, and you're telling the truth, which I think you are, then you would say equidistance. Which means, I think this is good. I think that's good. I think by killing you, we found out that both you and you are good and you're not corrupted. Because if you were a liar, you would have, you either point the other direction or say equidistance. So you're good, you're not corrupted. If you're good, not corrupted, and you're not pointing this way, yeah, it's got to be good, right? Which means all characters are good. That means you're the bad guy. It's you. No! Come on! What do you mean? Let me see the card. Let me see it. Kill her. Let me see it. Let me see it. So I was right about that being good. I'm stupid. You were corrupted. I'm like, she's lying. She's got to be here. No, she's lying because she's corrupted. I just forgot about the fact that corruption's a thing. Okay, go again. See me with this game is really hard? Some genius out there is going to be like, it's super easy. You're just an idiot. Can't both be true. Okay, please no plague doctor. Please give me the bombardier. I don't want to deal with corruption. Corruption makes it so hard. The game's so much more manageable without corruption. Especially when there's like 2 or 3 corruption. 1 card away from closest evil. No corrupted characters. I mean, that's true if we get the bombardier. And, nobody else. You have a witch blocking my thing. No witch is nice. The witch is a rough one to get. Plague doctor. Okay, there's... Okay, so... it's possible I got an alchemist? Do we have an alchemist? Bard, enlightened, hunter, medium, person, confessor. We have no alchemist, which means there's no way to cure the corruption that the plague doctor would have applied. It means you are either corrupted yourself, or you are a baddie. You are lying. Check over here. Okay, we have 2 outcasts. We should not have 2 outcasts. You had a fake outcast to the deck view. We have no counselor here. So, one of these outcasts is a baddie. So, sus. 1 is evil, 2 9 or 1. Alright, let's just... I got too many things tagged over here. Let's... 2 9 or 1. 2 9 or 1. Alright. So, we already got you marked there. So, it's looking grim for you. Close to evil is clockwise. Don't really reveal much. There's 3 of them on the board. It's a lot. Number 3 is a real plague doctor. Okay. You're vouching for them. Druid, I can learn 1 random outcast among them, if any. Maybe this is a way to discern which of them is the real one, maybe? Check you. Confessor, I'm good. Hey! Finally, a bit of good news! Oh, you love to see the Confessor. I am 1 card away from closest evil, so you're good, you're not corrupted. Oh, love a gimme. Love me a gimme. Which means you are either lying about being away from the closest evil, which means you could be that, or you yourself are the, press the right button here, the evil. So you're both sus. You're both potentially evil, and you're both potentially lying. But that means there's a strong chance that you're telling the truth. Like, there's a real, like, if one of you is baddie, you're a goodie. And not corrupted either. So, good chance that you're legit. Close to evil's clockwise. Well, there's 3 on the board. Number 3 is a real plague doctor. Learn 1 random outcast among them, if any. Wretch does not appear as an outcast for her. Interesting. Is that just for, like, finding the doppelganger? Or is that, like, I mean, let's just take you and click these 3 here and see what happens. There, among these 6, there is Bombardier. Does that mean they're a legitimate outcast? Or are you just telling me what I already see on the screen? Does that mean you're bad? I don't know. Well, let's just test this over here. You are saying number 2 is corrupted, number 9 is evil. I believe your power to identify evil... Wait. Your power to identify evil characters happens when you find somebody corrupted. So you are telling me that this person is corrupted and that number 9 is evil. But we know number 9 is good. We're so lucky that you said number 9. Everybody else, that gives me, like, no useful information. But you've lied to me. You've told me that 9 is evil when I know that they are not. Which means you are not corrupted. And it means that you are a baddie. Which means you are a goodie. Among 4, 5, and 6, there is Bombardier, so, I mean, you told the truth, so I think you're good. Right? There is a Bombardier in there. Alright, that worked out well. There are no corrupted characters. You are telling the truth. Which means you are not a baddie. I have 1 card away from closest evil. I think you're lying. I think you are the baddie. Which means you are telling the truth. Closest evil's clockwise. 1, 2, 3 this way. It'd be 1. I think it might be right here. Actually, it could be either of you. Number 3 is a real plague doctor. You're lying. You could be the corrupted one. You won't be the corrupted one. There's 1 corruption out there somewhere. You're telling the truth. You're not corrupted. Is it possible? I mean, you could be corrupted. No, I don't think outcasts get corrupted. It corrupts villagers. Which means... Wait, you were saying... Hold on. You said number 2 is corrupted. They are not. Wait, hold on. You say number 2 is corrupted, but they're not corrupted. Because you're lying. Which means they're telling the truth. Which means there are no corrupted characters. Okay. But how are there no corrupted characters when we had a guy who's supposed to corrupt people? I don't understand. Does the fake plague doctor... Is the evil plague doctor not actually able to corrupt? Like, if you guys... Like, you guys pretend to be them, do they not actually corrupt? That's what it seems to be. Doesn't say that. So if you guys pretend to be them, do you just not have their ability? When you pretend to be regular villagers, you can use the regular villager abilities. Why not them? Is somebody corrupted or not? It doesn't seem like it, based on this. Is it possible for you to lie about number 9? Ooh. What if it's possible for you to lie about that, but tell the truth about that? A half-lie. We know you're lying. We know you're lying, so you're either corrupted or the bad guy. You are either corrupted or the bad guy, because you're saying the evil's there, so either it is there, or you're the evil. So the evil is here or here, which, okay, but kind of figured that. If there are no corrupted characters, so if this is true, then it's you. If this is not true, that means you're the one who's corrupted. Okay, so here's the thing. Either you are telling the truth and no one's corrupted, or you're lying and you're the corrupted one. Because you can't be the bad guy, right? Because the bad guy is either you pointed here, or you pointed here. Which means there's no corruption over here. Which means you're a straight line. It's you. It's you! Impossible. The powers of deduction. Sometimes we can vaguely get there eventually. Oh, I hate Puka. Oh, those are so rough. Villagers adjacent to me are corrupt if possible. Which means you could have 2 corruptions, and then a plague doctor can hit 1. But the alchemist can, like, maybe cleanse some out. This is where it gets, like, impossible. I tried this level twice. I couldn't get it. Let's even get it now, but oof, good luck. I am dizzy. Thank you for existing, Confessor. What a legendary pull every time. You are either corrupted or the bad guy. What do we have here? Let me guess. Puka. Oh, God, Puka. Oh, and a Counselor. Oh, there's going to be 2 outcasts. Maybe 2 evils more manageable? I don't know, man. So we're going to have 2 outcasts. And, you'll be next to one of them. You'll be corrupting somewhere across the board. And we could potentially have... Oh, there could be potentially 4 people corrupted. Please no alchemist. Because the alchemist potentially curing them or not makes it real tough. Luckily no alchemist, so maybe that's a little more manageable. Evils are not adjacent to each other. There's no wretches, right? So there's a good chance they're telling the truth. They probably won't be next to each other, but they could be. Number 4 is good. So you say, is it possible for you to press space and point, you're vouching for this? Then press space and just stays there? Yeah, it does. Okay. You are a bombardier, which checks out right. Well, somebody's pretending to be one. Luckily no witch here. One is evil, 7, 3, or 9. 7, 3, or 9, so we're going to do a little 7, 3, 9. So you're casting Suspicious on. And instead of doing those little things, I could just like point arrows to him as well. You know, have you point red arrows? Arrows everywhere. Druid! Pick 3 characters, learn one random outcast among them. Only useful if I have like extra outcast or a doppelganger potential situation. I'm not even sure if it's useful in doppelganger. Okay, Jester, I have yet to figure out how to get value out of you. Maybe there's a way. Closest evil is equidistant. So if you're telling the truth, it's here and here, or here and here, or here and here, or here and here, okay? And here we have that. So we have 2 outcasts, which means you guys are not pretending to be outcasts, which means we can mark them as definitively good and good. And you are accurate in telling that they are good, which means we can trust that you are good and you are not corrupted. Now, for all I know, you could be corrupted. No, I don't think outcasts can get corrupted. So I can clear out that green arrow because now it's kind of like obvious. All right. This might be solvable. We might have a good pull here. Okay. But there will be 3 corruptions out there. Evils are not adjacent to each other. I don't know. So you're saying 7, 3, 9. So 7, 3, and 9. You, and you. Maybe I could draw a little sus situation over 7, 3, and 9. Over there. You're saying 7, 3, and 9. There is 1 evil one, or if you're lying, there's no evil ones. We know you're good. We know you're good. So Jester, well, we know you're either evil or good. That doesn't narrow it much. Or does it? Because you're saying closest evil is equidistant. If you're evil, then you're not telling the truth because Plague Doctor is good. They're an outcast, but they're good. So if you're evil, then you're also evil. And then it's kind of like solved. You're saying evils are not equidistant adjacent to each other, but you could be corrupted. That's possible. If you're good, then I'm not sure that really... I mean, anybody... I don't need to flag everybody. Anybody could be corrupted, really, at this point. Learn 1 random outcast among them. Ah, I can check to see if the... I already know the outcasts, so you can't give me any useful information there. But I can figure out if you are corrupted by clicking non-outcasts. So let's check here, here, and here. No outcasts, which means you are not corrupted. And you are telling the truth, which means you are good, actually. Okay, I get it now. The druid, you can easily deduce if the druid is, like, good or corrupt / lying. I can tell if they're telling the truth or lying just by checking things I know are not outcasts. So, we've deduced that you are good. Useful. Evils are not adjacent to each other. There's going to be 3 corruptions out there. Well, the thing about you is you will corrupt adjacent villagers if possible. So you could be here. No, wait, you can't. Wait. It would be possible for you to corrupt this one, but you have not. Which means this is not Puka. Wait, the Counselor spawns next to an outcast role. So, Counselor. Alright, let's get my little thing out here. Let's get a red 3. So, this could be the Counselor. And this could be the Counselor. Why is it like... The placement is weird. Not where you think it would be. Alright, so Outcast, possible Counselor. Possible Counselor. Possible Counselor can't be because we determined that you're good. Okay. So, 3 possible positions for the Counselor. I think, yeah, you really got to draw on the board. That's why they added it to the game. Villagers adjacent to me are corrupted if possible. You really got to use it, otherwise it's hard to keep track of all these things in your head. So, I need to find positions where you could be there, Puka. Puka cannot be here, otherwise you would have corrupted them and them. So, we, over here... I want to put there, but your text is in the way. Can I put it right on top of your text? I can. But it's, Puka cannot be here. So the Counselor's here, here, or here, and Puka can't be here. You're good. You're good, but it is possible that you could be corrupted by the Plague Doctor. Just like you could be corrupted by the Plague Doctor. But Puka, if they were here, would have corrupted you and you, so that can't be Puka. And it's not the Counselor because he's not near an outcast, right? Useful. We've deduced that for the same logic over here, Puka can't be here because the same reason. Like, you need to have, if there's a villager here and a villager here, you should be able to corrupt both of them, but you're not corrupted, so Puka is not there. Alright, so that is another one that is deduced as good. You think I'm struggling in this video? I'm doing a lot better now than I was in my previous attempt. I was like 2 hours and 10 minutes deep at this point, and it's just struggling. So we're getting a bit better. Let's think we got a decent pull here. Which means you're good. Could still be corrupted by the Plague Doctor or by Puka, right? You would have corrupted them, so Puka can't be there. Oops, wrong thing here. Get this off my screen. I'm starting to feel smart a little bit, though I was struggling earlier, so you can't be Puka. I don't like that placement. No, not undo everything. Crap. Okay. Could be Counselor, not Puka, not Puka, not Puka. I mean, for all I need to mark the ones that, like... I've ruled out you can't be corrupted because you're right about that. I've ruled out you can't be corrupted. Anybody else, like, got marked them down as like could be corrupted for all I know. But anybody next to you is not Puka, anybody next to you is not Puka. So where could Puka be? You're good, you're good, you're good, you're good. You can't be Puka, so... Not here, not here, not here, not here, not here, not here. Puka's gotta be up here. Somewhere up here. We have 2 positions for Puka. Here, or here. It's a lot to look at. I'll just put Puka there. No, undo that. I'll put Counselor there, and then both. Both. There we go. Or E for either would work as well. Hold up. You're saying 7, 3, or 9. I've identified that those all are good, which means you are lying. So you're either corrupted or bad. Kind of deduced that already. So wait, I still have I could still have you. I still have your power. I could use you to see if somebody's corrupted. I check you. If you're corrupted, you'll tell me where a bad guy is. If you're not corrupted, then you just are a bad guy. And that shows me where, if the Counselor's there or not. Sure, let's do it. Check them out. Is corrupted. They are corrupted, which means they are not a bad guy. It means they're a good guy. Kind of like erase over here? No, there's no erase. Kind of like, so, and either here, and either here. So basically, they're here and here, right? We're here. Yep. And here. We got them. Hey, we did it. It only took me about an hour and 40 minutes. We got the job done, though. We unlocked the baker. Random... Can't talk. One random unrevealed good villager becomes a baker. It's been like 4 hours I've been playing this game here, huh? Learn which villager I was. Learn which side of the circle is more evil. Learn equal if both sides are equally evil. Interesting. Okay. Neat. It'll just keep going and going. Not sure where it ends. But I think that's definitely long enough for one video. And I can keep going if you guys want to see more videos. But I do feel like maybe for the next video, I should start again from like the beginning of a run at like Ascension 1 and then go back through. I don't know. Maybe we can keep going from it. No, keep going from Ascension 3. Yeah. If you want more, let me know. But that's it. Thanks for watching. Now I've got plenty more videos you can watch too. Like this one right here. See you next time.